rushing away from the high school. I stopped when I was 16, and then I thought I was going to make movies in the school, and then it was again a school, with physics, chemie, and all those type of things, and I wanted to do movies, and I was not interested. Maybe I was wrong at the time, but at the time I didn't want to be again in a normal school. Also, at the time you have to sign that you're not going to work in the cinema because it was a socialist school, and they were afraid, there was no cinema in Belgium, that they were going to use people from the school and not pay them. But I wrote a script, so it was something totally different. I wrote a script, I wanted to make a film, and one of the teachers heard that, and he said, I'm going to crush with my feet people like you, like snakes. So I said, okay, goodbye. Then, it was 68. Then I came back for 68 to enjoy myself. And that was it. Then the next year, I said, oh, well, I don't, it's very boring, the classes, the mathematics, the physics. I will try to learn how to teach, how to direct actors. And I said the best way is to try to be in the acting school, which was in the same school. So I went there, they accepted me. After 3 months, they throw me out. But in the same time, I had already done my first film, Saute ma ville, so I didn't give a shit. When I was 15, I went to see Pierrot le Fou, Pierrot the Gangster. And, I was not at all a film buff. We were going with groups of people to see whatever, little French comedy or the Canon of Navarone or whatever. But we were going there to lick ice cream and to take the hand of a boyfriend or girlfriend. It was not for the cinema. And suddenly one day I said to my girlfriend, oh, Pierrot the Gangster, that's such a beautiful title. I had no idea who Godard was. Let's try to go into it, because at the time everything was after 16 and I was 15. So I pushed her in front of me because she was taller and she has 2 tickets, and we enter. And suddenly I was, under a shock. And I said, that can be cinema. It's like poetry. It's like a book. It's not like the cinema I used to. Look, we went out. It was on a big boulevard. I was like jumping. And I said, I want to make movies before I wanted to write. And that's how I decided to make movies. In 1950, it was very close to the war. And my mother went to the concentration camp. And she was still very, very traumatized by it. And as a child, I felt it. So I was always like an old child, which means I always, in a way, I didn't want to say no, I didn't want to scream, because I had to protect that person who had suffered so much. Even though I didn't know anything about the camps, because she never, up to now, never wanted to talk about it. But I felt it. It was in my blood. It probably did influence me very much. Because since, I was, how do you say, en retrait, I wanted her to leave. I was always...
On retreat? On retreats?
Yes. So maybe when you see meetings of Anna, you can think of that. Because she's not talking, she's only listening. Maybe. But that's an answer I am giving you, no. But maybe it's not that. You can always find an answer and then you say, it's that, or maybe not. Who knows?
But maybe that's the reason why many of your female protagonists are in some kind of isolation.
That's probably true, because I was a kid who my parents were working very hard, because At the time we were very poor. My mother didn't want me to go to play in the street. She was afraid of me. So I was looking at the window all the time, alone and looking at the window. And feeling, I always, up to now, feel like an old child.
But it's funny, this image, you looking out the window and seeing the life pass by, and now you being a director giving a window to an audience. It's a funny image, actually.
Yeah. You will see the next film is not at all like that.
Mm-hmm.
Totally different. It's very oniric.
Mm-hmm.
Oniric, you say. It's totally different. In a way, much freer. Less contained. Less like you feel that the girl or the people are in a jail. It's much freer. When I had finished Jeanne Dielman, I said, I can repeat that film all my life. So I try to change. But it was hard because my first instinct is to put the camera like that, But I said, okay, I don't want to do the whole thing all my life. But, it's a fight between me and me. I think when I start, it was the only solution. Who is going to give some money to a kid who is 18? Nobody. So then I went to New York. I spent 2 years in New York. I stole money. Yes, I was working in a gay porn cinema, 50-50 Street Playhouse, and from noon to 7. The first guy who enters, it was $3. Send me $20 and rush away. I said, oh, not such a bad job. Then I said, okay, I will give half a ticket to everyone. And my pockets were full of money. And with that, I did Hotel Monterey, The Room, and Yonkers. Unfortunately, I lost it. So, it was not the money was not for me. But the funniest thing is like the guy, I forgot the title of the film, the guy who did the film where I was working, he was a pimp in LA. And he was pimping to do movies. So, from the pimping, he did the movie. And from that pimping, I took the money out and I did other movies. So it all comes from pimping. Up to the point that I did Jeanne Dielman, that was with the money of the government. But, I had done already 6 or 7 films before, so, and anyway, the script of Jeanne Dielman was not the same script that I did. The script of Jeanne Dielman was a much more usual script. It was a woman she married her son, so she decided to leave home. A kind of very easy feminist film. And then, I didn't see how to do it, and I felt that I was not interested. And suddenly I had the idea of Jeanne Dielman. I wrote it like in 15 days. At the time already Delphine Seyrig had accepted to do it, so I went with the new script. She said, great. But it was not the script that I got the money for. Jeanne Dielman was a reaching point. And I think it's still a very radical film. And I think it still looks so new that it's incredible, And when I look at that, I said, how could I have done it? My parents came from Poland, all right, from very Orthodox family. Then they arrived in Brussels. Then I left for Paris. Then I left for New York. Then I went a little bit in Israel. Then I went a little bit there. So I don't feel that I belong at all. Sometimes it's hard because belonging can give you a kind of peacefulness. But I don't belong. I'm like an outcast. One thing after another, there is an idea or the beginning of an idea, then I pursued. and I do it. You know. I even did a so-called commercial comedy called A Couch in New York with Juliette Binoche and William Hurt. And I did it because Juliette asked me to write something for her. But I also did it because, I had a father and he wanted to have a boy instead of me. And I said to him, "Did you see what I did with your name?" So, well, that's not the same, it's not a continuation. And then he said, "You're not making money." So I said, "Okay, I will do some money." So I did that comedy. But because of the problem of the production of William and Juliette, who are very, very complicated and difficult film, and Juliette is all the time laughing, but she's cold as an ice cube. And everything is epidermic. She can laugh, 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 but in fact she's very cold. Nothing went well. And also the people, the journalists were very angry at me that suddenly I was playing in so-called the room of the big filmmaker. So they were angry at me. They want me to stay in the same place where I was. So they destroyed the film. And then suddenly, a few years later, they realized the film was good. But that was too late for the film. Since the press was not good, William and Juliette didn't want to do anything. And, they could have been in hundreds of TV and pushed the film. But they were, they let me down. You cannot count on those kind of people. It's just them and them and them and them.
So that's the star system in a way.
Or is it the business itself?
It's the business, it's the star system. It's a mixture of a lot of things. But look here in the Excelsior, when they were interviewing Madonna and Kate Blanchett, I said, "What's going on?" It was just near my room. "Shh, we cannot say what's going on." Why not? Why not? What's the problem? Tell me, what are you doing here? Shh. Stupid.
Especially the Americans.
But they make idols, and I'm fighting against idolatry. That's my main concern. That's why the way I shoot like that, so it's a one-to-one relation with the audience. And there is a sentence from Emmanuel Levinas, which is a very great philosopher, Jewish philosopher, who says, when you see the face of someone face to face, you already hear, you won't kill. So, and what are they doing? Le veau d'or. Comment on appelle ça, le veau d'or? The golden calf.
Okay.
In the desert.
Yes.
When Moses went up, the Jews, they made an idol. Okay? That's what they do with all those people. It's very bad for us. It's very bad for many, many reasons. People are not free when they have idols. And that's what they try to do all the time. Idolatry. So, it's as nothing has changed since the time the Jews left Egypt when they were slaves. And then they make an idol. The same now.
But it seems to be very human that humans always have to believe in something higher to find some guidance in life, be it religion, be it an idol. Do you have anything you
idolize?
I don't
like
idolize
something?
anyone.
Yeah.
No.
So religion would.
I can appreciate someone, I can admire someone, but idolize anyone, no. It's against, ethically, it's a very strong feeling. I'm against idolatry. The whole world now, it's getting there. But it's also the end of this world.